Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a brief history of Paco Rabanne. Paco Rabanne, the designer, recently passed away in 2023. He was very influential in the fashion world. He broke down many barriers in the fashion world, and he was also a very eccentric person. So today we're going to be going over a timeline of his life and some of his most notable works. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Josh. I usually do review videos. I have this segment called A Brief History Of that I like to dig deeper into the brands and the history of the brands. And today we're going to be talking about Paco Rabanne. If you like that type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. But with that, we'll be jumping right in. I have a timeline here that I drew up about Paco Rabanne and some of the key moments. So I'll be looking over here and talking to the camera as well and giving you guys that information. So it's going to start off in 1934, where Francisco Rabaneda Cuervo, or Paco Rabanne, was born in Spain February 18th. He actually passed away on February 3rd, just 15 days shy of his birthday, his 89th birthday. So to continue, his mom was a seamstress for Balenciaga. I believe she was a dressmaker for Balenciaga. In 1939, they fled from Spain in the Civil War and took asylum in France. In 1951, at the age of 17, he enrolled in the École des Beaux-Arts, an art school, and he studied architecture. He made money during that time doing fashion sketches for Dior and Givenchy. So that within itself is already very impressive. It also helped that his mom was a seamstress for Balenciaga. So that might have played a part in that. But again, you could see that he had some innate talent for his fashion sketches, which continued on further in his life. So in 1965, he designed unique earrings from thermoplastics. So he was experimenting with a lot of different materials, and from what I was reading, he was very futuristic and was more into the space age look of everything. And continuing on to 1966, he launched his first fashion collection titled 12 Unwearable Dresses in Contemporary Materials, featuring unconventional materials like metals and plastics. It was a spectacle with lights, music, and decor, so you could already tell a little bit about his personality, a little bit about like what he thought a fashion show should be. So it was a spectacle. So in 1967, he made fashion out of aluminum plates, chainmail, flame retardant fabric, and plastics. He was nicknamed the metallurgist for all the materials that he was using, all the metals he was using. I believe there's a quote of him saying it's like, it's the end of the age of metals, so he wants to use those. I could be misquoting, let me know in the comments down below, but I'm pretty sure I saw that. And continuing on, in 1968, he made women's armored dresses. That's already pretty out there compared to some of the other designers. I mean, now it might not be so different, but back then, during that time, it was pretty revolutionary. So they were made out of steel, they were bulletproof, and it was during this year where he used black runway models for a fashion show, and he was one of the first ones to do so. So already ahead of his time, he was looking forward into the future and just breaking down barriers within the fashion world. So in 1969, Paco Rabanne introduced his first fragrance, Calonde. I'm pretty sure I might not be pronouncing that correctly, but that's how I believe that it was said. So this was marking the beginning of his successful ventures into the perfume industry. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have probably seen his name in perfumes. He has a little robot, which I personally enjoy, but yes, he has a lot of fragrances out there, very popular with the fragrances. And in 1976, the designer releases his iconic fragrance for men, Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, a timeless and classic scent. So already introducing his men's fragrance line in 1976. And then in 1999, Paco Rabanne steps down from his fashion house. So lived a pretty full life, revolving all around fashion. Really did a lot for the industry, really pushed it forward in a direction where he introduced music, he introduced lights, he did all of this things that weren't traditionally done in fashion shows back in the day. So he was also a pioneer in that sense. And also a couple of other things too. As I mentioned, he was very eccentric. He had done many things, said many things that were questionable. So as I was reading about it, I was like, whoa, I can't believe that he said something like this, or he had these thoughts, not necessarily bad thoughts, but a little bit out there, something about extraterrestrials, something like that. And I was just a little taken back. I was like, this is it must be his creative juices flowing. But yes, he was a very eccentric person. And he also did costume designs for Barbarella and Casino Royale, where that was also pretty influential itself. And the thing is that Paco Rabanne, on its 60th anniversary, renamed itself just to Rabanne. So I guess that just wraps up a quick timeline of his life. I'm pretty sure there's more to it. I just went pretty fast, but he does have a rich history, a lot of more interesting facts, but these were just some of the key highlights of his life. There's videos that I watched, videos that I pulled this information from as well, from the brand site, along with the videos from the brand itself. So, if you enjoyed this, you could go and check out any of those other videos that they put out on their own YouTube channel. But I thought that was pretty interesting, and yeah, I want to know your guys' thoughts. If you guys found this interesting, or if you've heard of this brand before. They're doing a collaboration with H&M, and that's what sparked this whole thing, where I was like, oh, I want to know more about that brand. I know it's like they have a perfume, and I have the cologne, and I have the cologne. But yeah, I want to know your guys' thoughts on all of this. And if you found this helpful, or if you found this informative, you could like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And that's about it. So if you like this segment, let me know. And with that, till next time.